G'day mates, it's Storm201 with another nanoblock build with Crash Bandicoot, and do forgive me for the Australian accent attempt, because we're building Dingodile in this video. 210 pieces for this kit. So Dingodile was originally introduced in Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. That was the second Crash Bandicoot game that I ever played as a kid. And I'm looking forward to this because Dingodile, he was one of the easiest bosses I'd ever faced, because all you had to do was avoid this flamethrower and shatter a whole bunch of glass. Well, I don't think it was glass, I think it was crystals. But anyway, let's see how many bags we've got, because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh my god, I've got 8 bags. Oh dear lord, this could be a big one. I better get started on organizing all of these pieces, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so I've done all the pieces, and as you can see, I had to take my phone off the stand, which I use for the recording of these videos, and we have got a lot of pieces to go through, so let's start it off. Okay, so the obvious one is the blues. It's the 2x4s, then 2x3s, 1x3s, 1x4s, 1x2s, and some L's right here, so that's it for the blues. We've also got a light blue 2x2 right here. Next up, the blacks, I've got 1x1s, some 1x2s, 2x2s, 1x1s with 2 pegs on them, 1x3s, a few 2x2s right here, and a 1x3 with 2 pegs on it, and that is that for the blacks. Next up for the greens, I've got 2x3s, 1x4s, got plenty of those, 1x1s, some 1x6s, and that is it for the greens. I've got some oranges, some 1x1s and 1x3s. Now the creams, I have got 2x3s, a 2x4, some 1x3s, 1x4, some L's, 1x2s, 1x1 curved, 2x2s with a slope on it, and some 1x2s with a part of it missing, so it's only got one base for it. Next up, we are going for the yellows now. We've got some yellow L's, some 1x3s, 1x2s, 1x1s, and 1x2 curves, and some more curved 1x1s here. Next up, I've got what appears to be dark, light brown, proper brown 1x2s here. I've got some dark green 1x1s. I believe these are for Dingodile's tail. Some white 1x2s right here. Some 1x1s as well. Then I have got some light brown 2x3s and some T's. Some 1x1s, 1x4s and 1x2s. 1x2s with a deep slope on it. A 1x2 step. 2x2s, which are these ones right here. Nothing special about them. Some 1x2s with some more slope edges on it. And 1x3s. And finally, we've got some grey pieces. We've got some 2x3s, 1x2s, 1x3s, 1x2 with 1 peg on it, some 1x1s, and a curved 1x1. So yes, that is everything. That is a lot to process, and it's going to need its own zip code for the build. But I'm going to put the pieces safely aside so that I can get started on step 1 of the build. Okay, so step 1 of the build is done. What I did was I started off with a 2x3 for the blue, and then a L. Then I went to the left, and I did a 2 2x4s, then 2 2x3s. Then I started out at the front with this L, this blue L. Then I went to the 2x3. Then a 2x4, then another L, and followed it up with another L. Then I did a 1x2 here, and popped a 1x3 here, so it is at the bottom. Just make sure that it is nice and stable. Then, I'm not sure if I did the 2x4, but anyway, there it is. Then a 2x3, then another 2x3 here, and a 1x4. So we got off to a pretty good start, so now I'm going to get started on step 2 of the build. Okay, so step 2 is now done. What I've started off was a blue 1x3 here. Then I did another one here, and a third one right here, making sure that there was a, it was up one away from that. Then I did a 2x3 blue, followed by another, by an L here, then an L there. Then I took a different approach. I went to the 2 and 3 here, then went to an L, and the blue L. Then I had to grab the light blue 2x2 here, then a 1x2, a blue L, then grabbed a cream 2x3, then a 1x3, then a blue L to fill in the gap. And that was it for step 2. So now I'm going to get started on step 3. Okay, so step 3 is done. So I started off with the 2x3 here at the front, then another one right here. Oh, I believe I've missed some pieces, so let me grab those while I'm also explaining. So I've also done the L right here, then a 1x3, then a 1x2. Now, according to the instructions, you're supposed to have a 1x4 cream in the middle of this, then 2 1x3s right next to each other. So that is it. That's step fully completed. Carrying on from where I left off, a 2x4 here for blue, 1x3, then 1x2, then brown 1x4s here at the front. So we're starting to build up on the Dingodile's stomach. So now I'm going to get started on the next step, which will be step 4. Okay, so step 4 is done, fully done, I promise. I started off with a brown 1x2, then another 1x2 here, then a 2x3, then I started going to the right with a blue 2x3, then an L, and then a 1x4, followed by the green 1x6s, one here, then one here, then one here. Just make sure that you have at least a 2 peg gap difference between the part in the middle and the 2 sides. Then a 1x4, then another 1x4 blue here, and finally a 2x3. And that is that for step 4. So now it's time for me to get started on step 5. Okay, so step 5 is now done. I began with the brown 1x2 here at the front. Then I did a 2x3 here. Once that was done, I followed up with a blue L, then a black 1x2. Then I placed a blue 2x4 here. Had to make sure that it was nice and steady. Then a blue 1x2 next to it. Then I followed it up with a black 1x2 here. Then a brown 2x3 here. Then a 1x4 and a cream 2x3 right here. On the back, I had to do the green 2x3 here. Then 1x4s here and here at the top and on the left and the right. A green 1x1 on its own, and then a 1x6 to help finish off the tail. So that's that done, and now I'm going to get started on step 6 of the build. Okay, so the latest step of Dingodile is now done. I started off the build with a grey 1x3, then a brown 1x1 on its own right here at the front, then a 1x2 right here, then a black a 2x2 brown right here. Then I moved on to the green parts, a 2x3 here, then a 2x3 here. Then I did a black 1x3 on its own. Then I did a dark green, I think it is a dark green anyway, 1x1 on its own here and here. Then a 1x1 where it's it's twisted, it's not exactly in line, probably to give the illusion of the tail scales. Then I did a brown 2x3 here, then a 1x2 here, and a cream 2x3 to finish off the step. So now I'm going to get started on step 7 of the build. Okay, so step 7 is done. What I did was I had to change my approach on this step. So I started off with the grey 1x1 curve right here. Then I did the 2x3 here. 1x3 here, then a 2x3 here. Once those pieces were done, I did cream 1x2s with the edges raised up. So that is that step done. part done. Then I did a brown 1x1 on its own, then a 2x2 with an edge on it, and the same again right here at the on the other side of Dingodile's right arm. So that step was done. So now I'm gonna go and move on to step 8 of the build. Okay, so step 8 is over and done with. What I did was I started off with the 2x3 here in the brown color. Then I went around it with a grey 1x1, then a grey 2x3, then back to the 1x1 with the grey. Then a brown T right here. Yeah, a grey 2x3, then a 1x2 right here, so that's that step over. It's starting to look like we're nearing the end of building Dingodile's main body, so I'm now going to finish it off with step 9. Okay, so this is the end of Dingodile's body, technically step 9. So what I did was I started off with a green 2x3 here at the front, then 1x2 greys on both sides. Then for the back, I did a green 1x1 on its own, then 2 dark greens here, and one on the right and one on the left. And the same again right here, and a green 1x1 on the top. I believe it's going to be helping to build Dingodile's neck area. But anyway, that step is now done, so I'm going to put him aside and get started on step number 10. Okay, so I've just completed step 10 of the build, and let me tell you guys exactly what happened. I started off with a 2x4 light cream, then a 1x4 of the same color, then I did 1x3s for the back, the right and the left. Then for the front, I had to do a 2x3 at the very edge of where that bottom part was. Then a 1x3, and then 2 white 1x2s curves on the left, and same again on the right, sorry. Then I did a brown 1x4 from the back 1x2 onwards. Then 2 brown 2x2s, then 2 cream L's to finish off that step. Now that step was easy to do, and I'm looking forward to the next step, which will be step 11. Okay, so step 11 is now done. Again, like the last step, it was a 2-part process. So first thing I had to do was get a 1x4 and try to center it as middle as I could. Then I had to grab a 1x3 to stabilize the rest of the blocks underneath it. Then I grabbed a brown 2x3 and put it on the right. Then 1x3 brown on the left. Then I had to put a 1x2 brown over the 2 white curved 1x2s here for the teeth, so that they're stable. And the same again on the right. Then I had to put in the 3 green 1x3s here at the back. And not only that, but also the edged 2x2s here for Dingodile's cheeks. Then I had to go to the next layer, which was for the top, light cream 1x1 curved on both the left and the right, so that he's got his nostrils. Then a 1x2 here in the middle. I had to go with a brown T for this next part. Then I went backwards instead of continuing forwards, so I did a 1x3 here, then a 1x2 in brown. Then in grey, I did a 1x3, then a 1x2. Once that was done, I had to put in a 1x2 brown step in the middle where the 1x3 grey finished. Then 2 1x1 yellow curved so that we can get Dingodile's pupils. And with that step done, it looks like I'm now going to get to work on more of Dingodile's head on step 12. Okay, so this step, step 12, had to rely mostly on Dingodile ears and his eyebrows. So the eyebrows, I started off with the dark brown 1x2 curved, and then put it on top of the yellow. Then I had to go for the second one on the grey. And once that was done, I had a good foundation to put a brown T right here in the middle of Dingodile's skull. Then do the same again with the dark browns on the other side of Dingodile. Then when that was done, I had to grab the 1x2 with the steep slopes on them to form the front of Dingodile's ears. So now it's time for step 13, and for this we just need 4 brown 1x1s, and put 2 on top of another, like so. And then pop them on Dingodile himself. There we are. Perfect. And that looks like it is it for Dingodile's top side. So now I gotta get to work on part 14, where it's underneath Dingodile that I have to work on. Okay, so step 14 is now over and done with, so let me explain. I had to do a 1x3 light cream here, then a 1x2 here. Next up was a 1x3 here, then a 1x2 with an edge going upwards, or in this case, as you can see, downwards, doesn't really matter. Then I had to apply white 1x1s, one here, here, and then one here. Now, I am trying to make sure that they do not equally matched, so that Dingodile has that illusion of having all those teeth showing, his front teeth. And it's coming up pretty well. And next up, it's step 15, where I have to apply Dingodile's head onto his shoulder. I hope that I do this correctly. So according to this, I have to put it on like that. Bingo! And that is that for Dingodile's head on his body. So it's better for me to go on to step 16, where I can show you what I have to do next. So according to this, it is the legs of Dingodile. And I believe I have to put this piece here, brown tea, without it flying off, or something. Oh, that's one of his ears. Just pop this back on. There we go. Right, so here we go. That's one. And now for number 2, I believe I just have to do it like this. And looks like Dingodile now has his feet, which works out perfectly. And everything... Is that supposed to be... Looks like I might have misread. There we go, was that it? Yep, that is the way you do Dingodile's feet. So, his feet is now done, so I've only got one more thing to do, and that is his weapon. Okay, so the first part of step 17, I started off with a black 2x2, then I popped on a black 1x1, and then right next to it, where my thumb is, there is a black 1x1 with 2 pegs on it. Then a 2x2 to help start building the foundation for the weapon. So with that done, I'm going to move on to part 2 of the step. Okay, so part 2 of the step 17 is now complete. I started off with a 1x1 on top of the 1x2 with 1x1 with the 2 pegs on from the last step. Then I went round and I had to do another 1x1 with 2 pegs here, where my thumb is, and another one right here. And behind the first one that I pointed to is another 1x1 with just 1 peg on it. Then I had to put on a 1x2 with the 2 pegs on right here. Then on top of that, I had to put on a 1x3 with 2 pegs on it, a 2x2, and a 2x1 right here. So the weapon is starting to come together. I apologize if you're not able to see this. It's not very good light, I agree. I know. I'm trying to do the best I can. But anyway, it's time for me to move on to the next part of the step. Okay, so this step is a little bit more colorful than the last one. So let's, okay, so we'll start here. Started off with a 1x3 yellow, then a 1x3 orange, with a 1x1 orange, followed by a 1x1 yellow. And that was on the 1x3 with the, this one is on the 1x3 with the, 2 pegs on it. Then on the top, I did the exact opposite. I 1x3 orange here, 1x3 yellow, a 1x1 yellow, and a 1x1 orange. And that was step number 3 for me. So it's now time for me to go to part 4 of this step. Okay, so this step was pretty easy, well, part of the step anyway. The grey 1x3, then the grey 1x2 with the 1, in the middle. Then I had to put a black 1x3 on top of that. That was the easy part. So next thing that I have to do is apply this grey 2x2 circular and another one on top. Which I hope I've got it down right, in the right location. According to this, I haven't. Let me try fixing that. There we go. Right, slap bang in the middle now. So that's where we're supposed to go. Okay, so that part 5 and 4 are now done. So now I'm gonna get a move on part 6. Okay, so part 6 is now completed. What I had to do was grab the 4 yellow L's and then put it around clockwise. Then I had to grab the black circular 2x2 here in the middle. Then the 1x2s, also circular here, so that it forms the, I believe it is the main nozzle of the Dingodile's suction cannon, which he uses in Crash 4. So that part is now over and done with. So next up is part 7 of the step, which involves an orange 1x1 and a grey 2x2 circular. So for the grey, I have to pop this on here, and then this orange right here. Yeah, there we go. And to attach it onto Dingodile himself, boom! Dingodile is fully armed and ready, and fully armed to the teeth and ready to kick some Bandicoot butt. If he can, that is. Without me having to knock his new weapon out of his hand. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, why not check out my latest video right here. If you haven't got anything to watch on the weekend or one of your days off, why not check out my playlist right here. And if you aren't a subscriber to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified on my latest videos. Hope to see you again soon. Happy gaming. See you around.